Alright, so as you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you're more or less fairly new to the whole analog photography scene, and you've probably been on r/AnalogCommunity, the biggest subreddit for analog photography. And I've noticed that there's a question that just keeps popping up over and over and over again, um, and it's basically this one. So here we have someone that's saying like these two photos are from the same roll. They were shot with the same settings. One turned out foggy and one didn't. Um, so if we take a look at these two photos, I'm assuming this is the one that's supposed to not be foggy, and this is the one that's supposed to be foggy. And you can see a small light leak up here, the red part there. But I'm thinking let's move this into GIMP, and we'll take a look at how we can fix this. So first of all, like I said, there is a light leak up in the right corner of this specific photo, but this light leak has nothing to do with the problems of the photo. If we take a closer look at it, you can see there's a border going around it here. And basically when you take a like an analog photograph on a negative, anything that's light will like turn out white. So anything that's like the sun or anything that's reflecting light, like windows or so, will turn out white. Whereas the parts that aren't exposed, the ones that don't come into contact with light, will turn out black. And we can see this here, like this door is white, and obviously in real life, as a white door, it would reflect quite a lot of sunlight. You can see there's quite a harsh cast here. But this part, the border going around the photo, it's not black. It's some kind of like middle dark gray. And since like this very part hasn't been exposed at all, we know that this should be pitch black. So to remedy this, we can basically import this photo into more or less any photo editor, and fix this by just setting the black point to this. And the reason for labs like sending out scans that people find to look foggy is basically that they want to retain as much detail as possible for you. So the edit I will do now is based on like a compressed JPEG file of Reddit, and it would be much better to do this like with the uncompressed raw file that you got straight from the lab. But to remedy this, we will open up the Colors tab. We'll add a Levels adjustment, and what you can see in the Levels adjustment is that you have the black point, you have the white point, and the middle point. You have the values for each, and basically this is 0, this is 255, and this is like the ratio of how much between these two it's set at. And the black point determines like what part of the image will be fully black. So if we set the black point all the way over here, everything goes black. And the same goes for the white points. If we set it over here, everything will be white. So to remedy this, we need to look at the histogram here, or like the information in the photo. And while this tells you like what part of the photo is completely black, this tells you like what is the darkest part of this photo, and this tells you like where is the brightest part. So if we take a look at this, you have like these parts here and the door, and maybe here on the rocks down here, and so forth, are like the brightest parts. And the brightest parts like fall off pretty nicely over to the white point, where it turns exactly white. And the problem you'll have is that if you adjust this, and we say we put the white point over here, you'll basically start clipping this, which means that you will lose detail. So if we go all the way over here, you'll see that you'll no longer see the outlines of the planks on the door, because you're basically removing detail. And this is the reason that labs don't already do this for you. So if we take the black point and set the black point to where the darkest part of the photo is, because as I said, this should be completely black. And since there's a border going around the whole photo, I would assume it's somewhere in the middle of this spike. And we can take this and just move it over to somewhere along those lines. And if we now move out and look at this, we can toggle the levels adjustment on and off, and you'll see a pretty drastic difference. And like I said before, there is a light leak here, but the light leak really only affects this part of the photo, and it affects it pretty minorly at that. So, like I said, it's really just a matter of adjusting the black point. And if you're unsure where you should set it, you can always use the color picker tool. And you see it says pick blank point for the selected channel. So you click it and you click the part you know should be entirely black. And it set it slightly below where I set it before. And it looks virtually the same. And we can actually even see, if we look at this photo that the same person had posted that he said was not foggy, this part still isn't black. So the black point still isn't set correctly in this photo either. So if we add levels adjustment and we just click over there, you'll see again that there's quite a drastic difference in how the photo looks with and without the adjustment. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it to explain this commonly asked question. And if you have any questions about it whatsoever, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to answer any questions. And if you do want to follow me, I have a blog. I'll put the link in the description. I haven't made a post in a while, but I'm currently writing a post about this very issue. And I have this as well that I can recommend, Film Photography on the Cheap post, where I go through how you, even as a beginner, can really undertake a few measures that would allow you to, as long as you try to shoot black and white, more or less get into this hobby, or at least keep being into this hobby at a very reasonable price point, instead of bankrupting yourself on lab costs and film rolls. So I go through how you bulk roll your own film, and I go through what chemicals you need and what way you can cut costs. And I also go through more or less how you can scan your own film at home. And I give a few examples in the end of some photos that I've shot and developed and scanned and inverted and so on by myself. So yeah, like I said, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to answer them, and good luck with your analog photography. And don't forget, if you get a scan back from the lab and it looks like this, try setting the black point and it will most likely look something more like this.